How's everybody doing?
Good.
There's great energy in the room today. As Dr. Gabor mentioned, I'm used to being on the other side. The last time I was here, I was sitting right there in a sociology class. My Sociology 1 class. It really got me excited about so it's good to be back in Berkeley. How many people enjoyed being here at Berkeley? All right, parents, how many parents enjoyed sending your sons, daughters, and kids to Berkeley? I have a few remarks that I just wanted to give today and kind of just share with you a little bit about my experience coming through the system here. How many of you will be the first in your family to go to college? I was the first in my family to go to college also. And so give a round of applause for everyone who is going to do that. I understand that there's quite a lot of people here. I grew up in San Francisco in the Mission District. I just got people from San Francisco, Oakland, San Leandro, Hayward, Richmond is here. It's a good cross-section of the community. And looking at some of the schools that you all come from, I don't think it's very different from the experience that I grew up in the Mission. Granted, it was a long time ago, but nonetheless, it was this program. And I'll tell you a story how I got involved. And everyone has their story, their journey of how they got to Cal. And I think my story isn't very unique. I think it's very typical of the type of student that comes to Cal. So I want to let you all know that, first of all, if I can come to Cal, you all, I know, can come to Cal too. So I want to congratulate you for participating in the program, and you're off to a great start. I grew up in the Mission District and spent my formative years at the Columbia Park Boys and Girls Club. Back then, it was just a boys club. There was no girls allowed. And I remember I used to have a job after school working the counter. And I remember the executive director asking me, like, so what do you want to do? And I said, well, I want to go to Cal. But, I talked to my teacher at school. This was actually in about 6th grade. And I told her that I wanted to go to Cal. And she actually, the next day, believe it or not, she brought a pamphlet to apply to Clown College. Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey, because I thought, and that was a really bad message for me at that age. I was like, wait, does she think I can only go to Clown College? Am I that funny? I know it made me a little funny looking, but I didn't think I was that funny. Yeah, I thought it was messed up too. But on the other hand, I had somebody come to the high school from Berkeley, and I don't know if any of you know him. His name is Herb Dubon. Y'all know Herb? I always credit her because he's the one who in 6th grade, they pulled me out of the class, they looked at our test score and says, hey, you have the potential to go to Cal, you should start now. So in 6th grade, he said, hey, you can do this, and this is how you're going to do it, and it's going to be a lot of work, but every semester, rest assured, like he told me the classes I needed to take to make sure that I was kept on track. This program does for a lot of, I think, middle class, what a lot of middle class families do for their kids. If you're the first in your family to go to college, it's kind of hard to navigate the system. You got the UC requirements, used to be A through G, A through F. You got SAT scores, it's classes to take, and it really is overwhelming if you don't know how to navigate the system. And thank goodness that programs like EAOP are still here. And I got to tell you that programs like this are under attack at the state level. I think many of us who come through the UC system, whether or not we go to Berkeley or somewhere else, had somebody help us with a program like this. This program has helped numerous students. I remember on Saturday mornings, we had a Pre-College Academy at City College in San Francisco. Every Saturday morning, I'd meet my friends from my school. We'd hang out at we'd meet at McDonald's, catch the 14 mission up to City College for the 49 Van Ness. And we spent all morning at City College. That was like my first exposure to being on campus, and there was all kinds of kids there from all over the city. So it actually became fun, and it became a normal thing. Like, yeah, you're supposed to go to college. This is what you're supposed to do. And growing up in the Mission, I honestly thought going to college was something for rich people. You know, people who lived in the marina, not someone that looked like me, because I didn't know anybody that went to Cal. And so I credit the program for doing that. And When I got here to Berkeley, it really changed my life. It really transformed at that time, I didn't know in 6th grade that my life was going to change because of this program. Not only did it give me the opportunity to go to Cal, but it allowed me to serve here at UC Berkeley. I got involved in the VASA Recruitment and Retention Center, going out to the high schools, recruiting students. Was out there talking to volunteering, making sure that other people knew about Cal and that they could come here as well. That sort of structure here, and there was a lot of things going on back then. There was a Prop 187, 209, all these regressive policies that were taking place during that time, and that sort of politicized and informed me that, you know, we have to stand up and fight for what you believe in. No matter what policies are in place, where there's a will, there's a way. That's the message that I want to leave with you today, that no matter what policy is in place, and even I know that the tuition is increasing, and you know, there's a lot of really backwards things that are going on here in California. We should really be investing in the future. The way we're going to get out of this recession, out of like all these problems, is we invest in our people. And unfortunately, the state has taken a big axe to funding the future in education. Unfortunately, that's where we all come in. But I want to encourage you all to continue to serve in your communities. For me, I found that service to others really transformed my life, in that it allowed me the opportunities to meet people, to get involved, and to ultimately continue that sense of public service by running for the Peralta Community College Board. When I ran for the Peralta Community College Board, it was out of that sense of service, because you know, it's for community college students. Not everybody could go to Berkeley, but I always felt a deep sense of responsibility to make sure that everyone else had that opportunity. So I remember when I ran, I ran a campaign in 2006. They told me that I was too young, that I couldn't run because I had to wait my turn. They said that I needed to move to a different part of the community because I didn't represent that part of town I live in. I live in West Oakland. And they told me that you know, I should do something else, and it really wasn't my time. But we ran a strong grassroots campaign, and I got to tell you, all the folks that I met at Cal, that I went to college with, all those friends, all those connections, all those relationships, they're the folks that really organized, mobilized, and helped me get elected to become the first Latino on the community college board at Peralta. So, very proud. Just in closing, I want to say that the next couple of years, some of you are going to the 10th grade, some of you are going to 11th grade, some of you are going to 12th grade. How many of you are going to 10th grade? 11th grade? 11th grade? Woo! Juniors! Any seniors here? Seniors? So, look, I just want to leave with this message. I know all of you are working really hard, and you all will continue to work hard doing what you're doing. But don't give up, and keep on working hard. When I remember my senior year, I was, you know, after I talked to my mentor, Jim, he was telling me to get involved, you got to do this, you got to study hard, and I really tried to do that. And I really felt overwhelmed, because as students, we have a lot of stuff coming at us. It might be our family pressures, it might be pressure to work, it might be pressure to get involved in stuff that maybe we shouldn't get involved with. But I want to encourage you all to stay focused and keep your eye on the prize. When senior year, when I was going through the application process, letters came out, acceptance letters. I was feeling really dejected, really down, because, you know, I thought I had worked really hard, and all my friends were getting into schools and everything else, and I didn't get any letters yet. And one of my buddies that I played football with, he says, you know what, Abel, look, you worked really hard. See, I didn't have to do it. I didn't have to work as hard as you, but I already got into schools, and I was just like, why did I work so hard? But that same night, believe it or not, is when I went home and I got my acceptance letter. But not only was it an acceptance letter, it was a scholarship, a $20,000 scholarship to come to Cal. At that point, I knew that in my family's life, everything was going to be different from there on. The cycle of poverty that I grew up in at that point ended, because it gave me opportunities and encouraged my brothers and my sisters for them to go on and encourage their kids and my siblings. So I want to encourage you all to not give up, stay focused, keep on doing what you're doing. Listen to your parents, listen to your counselors, and keep on keeping on.